let's start the panel officially.
All right, so now the panel can officially start. Welcome to the Skullgirls panel. Thank you all for showing up. This is I think this is the first time, like I was mentioning earlier. This is the first time that collectively this combination of people is together for a Skullgirls specific panel. Mike's done one before at Evo, and you've done, obviously you do tons of things. Yeah, and you talk about it. And Vince did stuff on sound design before at was it Magfest? Magfest. Okay, so that was pretty recent. And but yeah, this is our first panel together, and many of you know, obviously, just in case though, it's a 2D high-res fighting game that was on PSN and XBLA. It was released last year. It was actually.
Oh my god, that's a long time.
This is yeah.
Yes, it was released last year and patched in November.
Yeah.
Only on PS3 because we're still waiting for Xbox.
And it just got recently.
And now the mic is on.
It just got recently released in Japan, on Valentine's Day. So now we have Japanese brethren joining us, the audience. Yeah, so that'll be cool. Seems to have a pretty good reception there, based at least on the number of fan art and reaction you see from there.
Yeah,
so
and from what I heard, they're actually going to be featuring it at the next Final Round Bats.
Oh, really?
Which is in 4 days after it comes out.
Wow.
It's right now.
Oh, it's now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And also, I guess just a quick...
stream that on your whatevers. Your towels.
So a quick introduction to all of us. I'm Alex Ahad, the creative director and the creator of the Skullgirls world. Mike Z is the guy who makes the game a good game as a game. So he's the
or a terrible game, depending on
your taste, I guess. Lead designer, and I guess what would your official title be? I guess
they kept calling me project lead, but then they didn't let me do that. So
okay.
I'm gonna go with lead designer or lead programmer.
Okay. And then this is Mariel, lead animator.
Hi.
Mariel Kiniko character. So.
That is all you will hear her say.
This is Christina V.
Hi.
Christine, the voice of Philia. That's John, one of our senior animators.
Yes.
Vince is our lead sound guy. Is that these terms I'm using? I'm not sure.
Our oldest sound guy. Vince
But
is the sound
the gist
guy.
of it is pretty accurate. Richard there is the lead cleanup. So we have a lot of our core members here in terms of the team that was and then of course we had a ton of contractors and a ton more voices and so but then these are the leads. One ton, exactly.
Yes.
We collectively together we weighed about 1 ton.
Yeah, and actually if you went over the 1 ton, then we made you lose weight or we cut you from the game.
I guess since your time is a little bit limited here, I guess we can start with sound stuff first, just because since you guys wanted to talk about the process that went through for it. Yeah.
So, voice acting. For the voice actors, it's probably one of the last steps to bringing the character. It is the last step to bringing the characters to life. So, when it came to Skullgirls, we had such a rich characters to play with, and of course the animation was beautiful. We got to see some of it as we were recording, and one day I get an email from Richard, who was the guy at Reverge, asking when my schedule was open to direct Skullgirls and also to do Cerebella's voice. And that we also ended up holding auditions, and it went by really fast. And that's how we got Christine. She was the first person we recorded for Philia. So if you guys have any questions about the voice acting part of the game, you can ask them, and I will try to answer coherently.
Oh yeah, normally I do panels if you have a question, just stand up and shout it out, because there'll be QA at the end, because I'm sure we won't have enough stuff to fill the time, but please interrupt, because it gives us the chance not to talk.
Please.
I have one.
Yes.
What this is I guess voice acting in general, but what do you do to decide what a character is going to sound like?
The first clues come from the script, where it'll say the age and kind of her personality type, and we just come up with something from there. But of course, once we get in the studio, it can be something completely different, because it's up to guys like Alex and Vince when they have a more concrete idea of what they want the character to sound like. And of course, maybe the art changes. So it's the actor, but it's also the director and the other people who are in the room with them that really narrow it down and create the voice for the character. I think that we wanted Cerebella to sound like Bubbles. I mean, not Bubbles, sorry. Buttercup.
Oh boy.
So that's me trying to sound like Buttercup.
Having never seen any Powerpuff Girls, you did an excellent job.
Thank you.
Wait. Oh, you haven't?
No, I have.
I was like, wait a second.
No, I mean me.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, I don't know who anyone here is. I've seen like 3 anime ever. Well, aside from Parasol.
Well, I guess
It's
that
a-
wouldn't count as an anime.
That would be embarrassing if I didn't recognize
Cartoon
that one. I have another question. 'Cause, I wanted to be a voice actor, and I rarely get to ask you these questions because you're always busy and everywhere and never around and don't answer your emails. Do you have, like, a repertoire of voices that you normally can do and you choose one and adapt it? Or do you, like, come up with something new for...
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I have like my young soft girl voice, like Noelle, and then my Revan voice, which I've been using a lot, which is also Homura and a bunch of other characters I've done. But you start with that base kind of, and then it's just the personality and the acting that makes it sound like a different character. Yeah, but definitely have go-to voices.
This is really useful for me, so if no one's going to ask any other questions...
It's like a template, and then you just add on to it.
It's like a style. Like people will recognize that style, and that's what they want, and then or something similar to that.
Yeah. Usually when you get cast, it's not because you hit the character dead on. It's like, oh, that person, when they said that line, that's what we wanted, so let's get the entire performance that way. Okay.
Question?
Yes.
I have a quick question. Are you, as a director, do you also do casting, or do you just make sure?
I do the auditions, but I don't cast the character. So I send out the sides. I'm the one who knows the actors. So I get them out to the actors, and then these guys are the ones who make the decision for the voice.
It's actually a dartboard.
Excuse me? No, I've been in the business for about almost 10 years. I know a lot of voiceover actors, and it's from that pool of people that I know personally. And also there are some people who have contacted me, or Alex or Mike, who have their reels and who live in LA and who want to try out for it. And that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're directing voice in a fighting game, how do you make grunts like damage effects and things like that not sound stupid? Do you have any?
we punch her, and that way it's...
Yeah, it's all... I was in the booth poking Christine. It's acting. And also, growing up playing fighting games and watching anime, it comes pretty naturally. Actually, it's for I know for Christine and for Kira and for some of the other actors, we were doing that already for fun. So we know how it's supposed to sound, I guess. It sounds like, does that make sense? I should mention I was drunk until about 30 minutes ago, so I might not be most coherent right now. But yeah, and it's really committing. It's like doing any other lines. It's really committing to what you're doing. So yeah, I've answered it.
Yeah, I just want to say there's not a whole lot of really good English precedent for that type of vocalization in video games.
Come on, that's perfect English.
Yeah, I mean, there is stuff like that. There were lots and lots of takes. I remember we were going with each of the actresses. We were asking them to do all sorts of different things. I think for towards the end, I think we might have had something like 80, 90 really distinct sound files for each person that are going on 8, 9, 10 different ways of actually vocalizing pain. And it took a long time. Like our pain wheel actually was really fantastic at it. She also did some other characters besides Painwheel. She did a lot of stuff for League of Legends.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of attack runs and vocalizations that work there. And I think just by virtue of going through the motions and figuring that out, she was able to hit those things really out of the park.
She had a tough job because even when she was attacking, we're like, all right, you need to attack, but it hurts you. But it can't sound like a damaged sound. It was tough. Also, I have to say, many times in fighting games, going back to that, I go back to Link the set, hey, set! It always ends up being Link. Did you have anything else? I think I interrupted you.
Oh man. Actually, that earlier point about casting, because casting was actually a really tough process, and that changed a lot over the course of the project. I think towards the end, we ended up doing a little bit of implementing the audition bits and pieces into the game to see what really fit the character, because the character in a picture is really different from the character in motion in the game, and you just don't have access to that unless you're working on the game, and the game is in such an unfinished state. So that was a big part of really doing that final casting decision.
I actually wanted to thank you because you guys did something that fighting games don't do enough, in my opinion, and I never got to thank you during the project, which is having multiple takes for specials and attacks and stuff, so that it's not you like that.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that the fact that I hit a button. The fact that Parasol has 3 different takes for Napalm Shot, and that was really, really nice, because you tend to hear the same move a lot because it ends up being good. So
Hands off the panda, hands off the panda.
yeah. And even for push blocking and all that stuff, I really appreciate the fact that we had multiple vocalizations for everything, because it sounds way less dumb.
I think that was mainly a Vince thing, because we did a bunch of takes, and he was the one who was like, all right.
Oh, well then
use
never
this one,
mind.
this one,
I'll
and
just
this
thank
one.
him. Thanks, Vince.
No, I accept your thanks.
I think we had a question.
What made you decide that Christina was the right one to direct this project?
Oh.
I believe you. I think you approached
She was
us,
the
if I remember
cheapest.
right, and she's incredibly professional and organized when it comes, and she knows she knows a lot of the people in the industry. You're friends with a lot of them, and then good connections, and she's very professional when it comes to putting all of this together, and I have almost no experience in terms of the sound department, so I could describe kind of the gist of what I'd want, but actually the finer details of actually implementing that kind of stuff is far beyond my reach. So.
She's very organized. Actually, if you're gonna make a game, you need to have at least one person in every department that can keep track of people and what they were supposed to be doing and when they were supposed to be doing it by. Because I didn't, and I did a really bad job of that in my department, so I know that it can be really difficult.
Yeah, Christina was really great in the studio. I was there also doing a little bit of direction, but the thing that I knew how to do was say, you need to be a little bit pitched higher, a little bit quicker, and just things, because I knew about the animation and that. But you really knew how to actually talk to them and how to, just that real pure acting direction, which I just did not have that vocabulary for.
Vince really had the context. He provided the context for every line and for what the push blocks were, how fast they needed to be. So it was really good having him in there. So, yeah.
Except for Rekka Your Shins. I'm still mad about that one.
What happened to Rekka Your Shins?
For the Rekkas, it was supposed to be Rekka Your, and then she picks the last one.
Oh.
But you did it all as one line for each one.
Oh no. I was unaware. It sounds cute though.
It does.
Rekka Your Shins. Kimlin. Yeah. So I'll take one last question, and then I will have to go. Yes.
Will you sing for us?
You learned the credit song yet?
I know. How about everybody get up? It's time to sing. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam.
Wow.
You want a jam? Do slam.
That bit's gonna be everywhere, I'm sure. Yes.
All right, thank you guys so much, and thank you guys. I'm sorry I have to run.
It's okay. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Are you coming with me? And Christine, who's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Also, hey, do your voicemail.
I know.